During the 80s, nerds had a blast with cool stuff that shaped pop culture. Do you remember the Commodore 64? A magic box for gaming and coding adventures, and who could forget the Atari 2600, bringing pixelated joy to our living rooms? Dungeons and Dragons took us on epic quest, while the Walkman let us groove on the go. The VHS vs. Betamax war had us picking sides in the battle of home videos. Arcades were our second home, with games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders ruling the scene. Star Trek. The next generation beamed us into the future, while the Rubik's Cube challenged our brains. There was much more exciting stuff than that, so join us as we explore 20 things only nerds will remember from the 1980s. Number 1. Commodore 64. The Commodore 64, a marvel of the 80s, was more than just a home computer. It was a gateway to digital creativity and entertainment. Its popularity soared due to its impressive capabilities in both gaming and programming. The Commodore 64 gives you as much memory as the IBM at less than half the cost. With its 64 KB memory, it offered a playground for budding programmers, fostering a generation of digital innovators. Its Vibra 16 color palette and high-quality sound chip made it a beloved platform for games, bringing joy to countless households. Titles like The Last Ninja and Elite left indelible marks on the gaming landscape. The Commodore 64 wasn't just about fine games. It was also a tool for learning and exploration. Many users cut their coding teeth on this machine, sparking a lifelong passion for technology. Today, the Commodore 64 stands as a cherished icon of the 80s, a testament to the era's technological enthusiasm and a reminder of the humble beginnings of our digital age. After the era of digital exploration unfolded with the Commodore 64, did the Atari 2600, with its pioneering role in home gaming, ignite a similar spark of creativity and innovation? Will its legacy, like the Commodore's, endure as a cherished relic of technological enthusiasm, shaping the future of gaming as we know it? Number 2. The Atari 2600. The Atari 2600, a trailblazer in the realm of video gaming, was a beacon of the 1980s. This console was more than just a gadget. It was a portal of fantastical worlds, marking the dawn of home gaming. Its simple joystick and single-button interface belied the complexity of the adventures it offered. From the iconic Space Invaders to the infamous E.T., the extraterrestrial, the Atari 2600 hosted a plethora of games that defined a generation. It was a symbol of the era's technological optimism, bringing the arcade experience into living rooms. Despite its blocky graphics and rudimentary sound, it captivated the hearts of millions, creating a culture that thrived on pixelated challenges and digital exploration. The Atari 2600, with its wood panel design and cartridge-based system, is a cherished relic for many, a testament to the humble beginnings of the now sprawling universe of video gaming. It was not just a product of its time, but a pioneer that shaped the future. Number 3. Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D, was a game-changer capturing the imaginations of nerds everywhere. It wasn't just a game, it was a journey into fantasy realms where players became heroes, wizards, and warriors, battling monsters and uncovering treasures. Created by Gary Gygax and Dave Arian, D&D introduced the concept of role-playing games, or RPGs, where players assume the roles of characters in a fictional setting, guided by a dungeon master with its intricate rules and endless possibilities. D&D sparked creativity and collaboration among players, leading to friendships and legendary adventures. Its influence extended beyond gaming, shaping literature, film, and even popular culture. The game's iconic imagery, like dragons, dungeons, and magic spells, became synonymous with geek culture. For nerds of the 1980s, Dungeons and Dragons wasn't just a game, it was a portal to infinite worlds of imagination and excitement. Number 4. Walkman in the 1980s. Sony's Walkman was the ultimate accessory for music-loving nerds on the go. It was a portable cassette player that changed the game, letting people take their tunes with them wherever they wanted. Before the Walkman, music was mostly confined to home stereos or bulky boomboxes. But with the Walkman, you could pop in a cassette tape, slap on some headphones, and groove to your favorite jams while walking down the street or riding the bus. It was a revolution in personal audio technology, giving nerds the power to curate their soundtracks for daily life. The Walkman became a cultural icon with its sleek design and catchy commercials, making it a mucha gadget of the decade for nerds of the 80s. The Walkman wasn't just a device, it was a symbol of freedom and self-expression through music. Number 5, VHS versus Betamax war. Back then, nerds witnessed a fierce battle between two videocassette formats, VHS and Betamax. VHS, developed by JVC, and Betamax, created by Sony, both aimed to dominate the home video market. The rivalry was intense, with each format boasting its advantages. Betamax was known for its superior picture quality, while VHS offered longer recording times. The competition divided consumers and even Hollywood studios, who had to choose which format to support for movie releases. Ultimately, VHS emerged as the victor, thanks in part to its longer recording times, which made it more appealing for recording TV shows and movies. The VHS format became the standard for home video, while Betamax slowly faded into obscurity. The VHS versus Betamax war remains a fascinating chapter in the history of technology, highlighting the importance of consumer preferences and market strategy in shaping the future of media consumption. Number 6. The rise of arcades. The 80s saw the rise of arcades becoming the ultimate hangout for nerds and gamers alike. These neon-lit wonderlands were filled with rows of arcade cabinets, each offering a different adventure or challenge. Games like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Donkey Kong became instant classics, captivating players with their addictive gameplay and vibrant graphics. Arcades weren't just places to play games, they were social hubs where gamers could compete against each other, swap strategies, and form friendships. The atmosphere was electric, with a constant cacophony of game sounds and the glow of flashing lights. Adding to the excitement for nerds of the 80s, arcades were a haven where they could escape into virtual worlds and showcase their gaming skills. The rise of arcades not only fueled the popularity of video games, but also laid the foundation for the gaming culture that continues to thrive today. As the neon glow of arcades faded, would Star Trek. The next generation boldly go where no TV show had gone before, captivating the hearts of 80s nerds, like the digital adventures of Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. Number 7. Star Trek: The Next Generation. Star Trek. The Next Generation was a beacon of 1980s pop culture, reigniting the Star Trek franchise with a fresh narrative and a new crew aboard the USS Enterprise. This revival series boldly ventured into uncharted territories of science fiction, captivating audiences with its innovative storytelling and complex characters. This series introduced iconic fixtures like Captain John, Luke Picard, and android Data, who became beloved fixtures in the Star Trek universe. The show's exploration of philosophical and ethical dilemmas, set against the backdrop of space exploration, resonated with viewers, earning it a massive following. Its influence extended beyond television, shaping the landscape of science fiction and inspiring countless spin-offs. Star Trek. The Next Generation was more than just a TV show. It was a cultural phenomenon that encapsulated the spirit of exploration and discovery, embodying the optimism and technological fascination of the 1980s. Its legacy continues to thrive, making it a cherished memory for the nerds of the era. Number 8. The introduction of the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube emerged as a defining symbol of intelligence and problem-solving. This 3D puzzle, invented by Eno Rubin, a Hungarian architect, quickly became a global sensation. With its 6 faces covered by 9 stickers of 6 solid colors, the challenge was to twist and turn it to return to its original state. With each face showing only one color, the cube was more than just a toy. It was a brain teaser that tested one's patience and spatial reasoning skills. It became a cultural phenomenon adored by nerds who relished the challenge it presented. The Rubik's Cube was not just about solving a puzzle, it was about the journey of problem-solving, the process of making sense out of chaos, which resonated with many during the fast-paced technological advancements of the 1980s. Nowadays, it stands as an iconic reminder of a decade marked by innovation and intellectual curiosity. Number 9. The Watchmen comic series. The 80s was a golden era for nerds, and one standout memory is the Watchmen comic series. This wasn't your typical superhero story, it was a groundbreaking graphic novel that dared to challenge the norms. Watchmen, penned by Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons, and John Higgins, was published by DC Comics in 1986. It introduced us to a complex alternative reality where superheroes were not just black and white figures of good and evil, but deeply flawed individuals navigating a world on the brink of nuclear war. The narrative was rich, with social commentary and philosophical undertones pushing the boundaries of what a comic book could be. Its iconic characters like Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan left an indelible mark on pop culture. Watchmen's influence was so profound that it's often credited with ushering in a new, more mature era in comic book storytelling. It's a testament to the power of the medium and a cherished piece of 80s nerd nostalgia. With the final panels of the Watchmen comic series unfold, did the personal computer revolution of the 80s, with its transformative impact on daily life, echo the groundbreaking spirit of Watchmen's narrative. Number 10. The personal computer revolution. The 1980s marked a monumental shift with a personal computer revolution reshaping how people lived, worked, and played. Key players like the IBM PC and the Apple Macintosh transformed computing from a niche hobby to an essential tool for everyday life. The IBM PC, released in 1981, set a standard for compatibility and accessibility, making it a favorite among businesses and consumers. Meanwhile, the Apple Macintosh, introduced in 1984, with its groundbreaking graphical user interface, made computers more intuitive and user-friendly. These iconic machines paved the way for a new era of innovation, laying the groundwork for modern computing as we know it. The personal computer revolution democratized technology, empowering nerds and enthusiasts to explore new realms of creativity and productivity, from gaming and programming to graphic design and word processing. Personal computers became indispensable companions for the nerds of the 1980s, opening doors to endless possibilities and the digital age. Number 11. Microsoft MS-DOS, in the realm of early personal computing. Microsoft MS-DOS was the reigning operating system that nerds of the 80s knew inside and out, short for Microsoft Disk Operating System. MS-DOS served as the backbone for countless computers during that era, providing the interface through which users interacted with their machines. What set MS-DOS apart was its command line interface, where users type commands to perform tasks rather than clicking icons or navigating graphical menus. While this may seem archaic by today's standards, mastering MS-DOS commands was a badge of honor for DOS back then, allowing them to customize their computing experience and troubleshoot issues with finesse. MS-DOS also played a pivotal role in the early days of gaming, serving as the platform for many classic video games that laid the foundation for the gaming industry we know today. Despite its eventual evolution into more user-friendly interfaces, MATOS remains a nostalgic symbol of the golden age of personal computing. It reminds nerds of the pioneering days when every keystroke felt like a journey into the digital frontier. Number 12. First Usenet Post. Back in the 1980s, the internet was still in its infancy, but tech-savvy nerds were already forging digital communities through platforms like Usenet. Usenet was one of the earliest online forums where users could engage in discussions, share information, and exchange files on a wide range of topics. The first Usenet posts were like stepping stones into uncharted cyberspace, with users connecting from universities, research institutions, and tech companies to exchange ideas and collaborate on projects. These posts laid the groundwork for the internet culture we do today, fostering a sense of camaraderie among early adopters in paving the way for the vast online communities that would follow. Although the technology of the time was primitive compared to today's standards, the spirit of collaboration and curiosity that fueled those early used NE discussions continues to inspire nerds and tech enthusiasts to explore the ever-expanding frontier of the digital world. While the early used NE post forged pathways into the digital frontier, did the virtual landscapes of Tron resonate with those same tech-savvy pioneers, inspiring visions of a future where digital realms would become playgrounds for exploration and creativity? Number 13. Tron in the 80s. Tron emerged as a groundbreaking film that captured the imagination of nerds with its dazzling visuals and futuristic themes. Released in 1982. Tron was ahead of its time using cutting-edge computer graphics to create a visually stunning digital world. The film's plot, which centered around a computer programmer transported into a virtual reality where he must fight against a malevolent computer program, resonated with tech enthusiasts and gamers alike. While Tron initially received mixed reviews and underperformed at the box office, it found a dedicated fan bases among nerds who appreciated its innovative visuals and imaginative storytelling. Over the years, Tron has gained cult classic status, inspiring sequels, video games, and even theme park attractions. Its legacy as a pioneering work of science fiction cinema continues to influence filmmakers and entertain audiences, cementing its place in the hearts of nerds who remember the 80s fondly. Number 14. Sci-fi movies' golden era. The 1980s was a golden era for sci-fi movies, with films like Blade Runner, The Terminator, and Back to the Future becoming beloved staples. Blade Runner, directed by Ridley Scott, presented a dystopian future with a thought-provoking narrative about artificial intelligence. Terminator, directed by James Cameron, introduced us to a relentless cyborg assassin played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and a time-traveling plot that captivated audiences. Back to the Future, directed by Robert Z. Zemeckis, offered a fun and adventurous take on time travel with Michael J. Fox's charismatic performance as Marty McFly. These films not only entertained, but also sparked imaginations, explored complex themes, and pushed the boundaries of special effects. They left a lasting impact on the genre and continue to influence filmmakers today. For nerds of the 80s, these films were more than just entertainment. They were a gateway into a world of endless possibilities and futuristic dreams. Number 15. The Space Shuttle Program. The 1980s was a significant decade for space exploration, largely due to the Space Shuttle Program. This program marked a new era in space travel with reusable spacecraft. Major launches like the Challenger were pivotal events that drew massive public attention before the tragic disaster in 1986. The Challenger had successful missions contributing to scientific research and international cooperation in space. It deployed satellites, conducted spacewalks, and even carried the first American woman. Sally Ride and the first African-American guy on B. Bluford into space. These achievements sparked interest in space exploration and inspired a generation of scientists and astronauts. The Space Shuttle program was more than just a technological marvel. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and our relentless pursuit of knowledge. For the nerds, it was a testament to what humanity could achieve and a glimpse into the exciting future of space exploration. Number 16. Early cell phones. The advent of early cell phones revolutionized communication. These devices, often referred to as bricks due to their large size and heavy weight, were a far cry from today's sleek smartphones. Despite their bulkiness, they were symbols of a future where communication could be mobile and instantaneous. These early models, like the Motorola D-Attack 8000X, were expensive and had limited features offering just talk functionality. Yet they were a status symbol, signifying the user's cutting-edge geeky tech savvy. The battery life was short and the reception was often poor, but these drawbacks did not diminish their appeal for the nerds. These early cell phones represented the exciting potential of technology and the promise of a connected future. They were the precursors to the indispensable gadgets we can't imagine living without today. Thus, the brick-like phones in the 1980s were indeed the harbingers of mobile communications' future. The early cell phones promised a future of mobile communication. However, did the text adventure games of the same era like Zorn offer a glimpse into the interactive storytelling landscape that gaming would become? Number 17. Text adventure games. During the 80s, the gaming world was captivated by a unique genre known as text adventure games. These games, such as the iconic Zorn, were a far cry from today's visually stunning and complex video games. They were simple text-based games where players would input text commands to control characters and navigate through the game's world. Notwithstanding their simplicity, these games were incredibly engaging, requiring players to use their imagination to visualize the game's environment and events. Zorn, one of the most popular text adventure games, was renowned for its intricate storytelling and clever puzzles. Players would explore the great underground empire, encountering a variety of fantastical creatures and locations, all described through vivid TE narratives. These games laid the foundation for future gameplay narratives, teaching game developers the importance of a compelling story and well-developed characters. Thus, for the nerds, text adventure games like Zorn were not just games, they were gateways to immersive, interactive stories that left a lasting impact on the gaming industry. Number 18. Magic: The Gathering. Magic: The Gathering, often simply referred to as Magic, made its debut in the late 1980s and quickly became a cornerstone of the gaming community. This collectible card game, designed by mathematics professor Richard Garfield and published by Wizards of the Coast, introduced a unique blend of strategy and fantasy that captivated players worldwide. Magic's gameplay involves 2 or more players who engage in battles as powerful wizards known as planes, walkers. Using decks of cards representing magical spells, creatures, and artifacts, players strategically deplete their opponent's life points. The game's intricate mechanics, coupled with the stunning artwork on the cards, contributed to its widespread popularity. Magic also pioneered the collectible card game genre, inspiring a multitude of similar games. Its impact on the gaming community is undeniable, with millions of players worldwide and a professional circuit with substantial cash prizes. Even decades after its release, Magic: The Gathering continues to enchant players with its immersive gameplay and dynamic strategies. Number 19. Laser tag. Laser tag, a novel form of entertainment that emerged in the 1980s, quickly became a favorite pastime among young tech enthusiasts. This high-energy game involves players using informed emitting light guns to tag opponent sensors, simulating the thrill of combat, but in a safe environment. The game's appeal lies in its blend of technology and physical activity, providing an exciting alternative to traditional sports. Laser tag arenas, often filled with obstacles and dimly lit to create a futuristic ambiance, became popular hangout spots. The game also fostered teamwork and strategy, as players often had to work together to outmaneuver their opponents. Furthermore, the introduction of wearable tech gear like vests and headbands with sensors added an extra layer of immersion to the experience. despite the advent of more advanced video games. Laser tag holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up in the ADS, symbolizing a time when technology began to transform the way we play. And number 20, the emergence of CGI in film, back in that era. The emergence of computer-generated imagery, or CGI, marked a significant milestone in the history of filmmaking, revolutionizing the way movies were created and experienced. While CGI had been experimented with in the years prior, it was in the ADS that filmmakers began to harness its potential on a larger scale. One notable early adopter was the 1982 film Tron, which used CGI extensively to depict its futuristic virtual world. Another landmark moment came with the release of The Last Starfighter in 1984, which featured groundbreaking CGI effects for its space battles. These pioneering films showcase the possibilities of CGI and paved the way for its widespread adoption in the decades to come. Though the CGI of the ADS may appear primitive by today's standards, its introduction marked a seismic shift in the film industry, allowing filmmakers to bring fantastical worlds and creatures to life in ways never before possible. The ADS laid the foundation for CGI-driven blockbusters of the future, making it a pivotal era for both technology and storytelling in